When they have events in the evening,
Parking? Yeah.
I'm gonna park in here. I'm gonna find out where you live. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our council committee meeting for March 15th, 2022. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories and the oral practices of the Blackfoot Nation, which include the Siksika, the Kainai, and the Piikani. We also acknowledge the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of southern Alberta. We're making this acknowledgement to demonstrate our continuing efforts to work together as we strive for reconciliation through increased and collective learning. Okay, on the agenda there, Bylaw 2204, Recreation and Parks Board Bylaw. Amy.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mayor and Council. Administration has recently updated the Recreation and Parks Board bylaw, and the following changes are being recommended. Stating that the youth member must be at least 14 years old as recommended by the board. Adding that the board is responsible for monitoring and implementing the 10-year Recreation and Parks Master Plan subject to the city's budget as per the recommendation in the master plan. Removing the requirement to participate in the city's budget planning process, as this is not current practice. Updating how to address procedural requirements, special meeting requirements, and virtual meetings to align with other city bylaws, and adding a duty to review grant applications and award funding from time to time as directed by council because of the Recreation User Group Grant, or RUG. However, this has been kept general in case there are other grants or grant programs to be allocated in the future. Therefore, administration is recommending that this bylaw be forwarded to council, but if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Okay. So I got a mind block here now. Do we motion on the recommendation or just?
You go ahead and
Okay, well, okay, yeah. All in favor of taking the recommendation to council? All in favor? Okay, anybody opposed? Okay. The next one here, Bylaw 2206, to amend the cemetery bylaw. Amy.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. Administration is proposing changes to the cemetery bylaw to allow for the installation of burial plot columbariums within the cemetery after receiving a request from a family to install the structure that's shown in the attached photo. A definition of burial plot columbarium has been added to the bylaw, and the construction, installation, and approval of these structures will follow the current process for monuments. These structures have been installed in other cemeteries, however, are not currently permitted within the city's bylaw. An amendment is required to allow the installation in place of a monument. An additional subsection is being added to address how marker sizes are determined, which is dependent on the type of burial plot, such as cremation versus casket plot. Again, we are recommending that this is forwarded to council for approval, but I can answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, go ahead, Bill.
So are these kind of same as the covers in a way that used to be, except they're on top of the ground now, above, or?
I will refer that question to Dawn, who I believe is on Zoom.
Councilor Prentice, repeat the question again there.
Well, just wondering, these fit on top of the headstone or on top of the grave that's there now. Does that fit onto the existing pads that are there? Is this what that's going to do?
Yes, through the chair to Councilor Prentice, these columbariums will fit right on top of the ribbons, or just like a headstone would. They're the same size.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Councilor Jessica?
Okay, so right now, I'm assuming that all the plots are the same size. If this is going to be a coming thing, will this be an opportunity to introduce smaller plots specifically for this purpose and extend the life of the cemetery?
Yes, through the chair to Councilor Jessica. That is what we have planned for that next expansion into the next area. Take a look at these types of graves and make them fit better for this type of purpose, yes. But right now they can fit with what we have as well.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, motion to recommend this to go to council. All those in favor? Nobody opposed? Okay. To number 3, Bylaw 2207, Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board Bylaw. Amy.
Thank you. Through the chair to mayor and council. Administration has recently updated the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board bylaw to align with other city bylaws that create the various boards, committees, and commissions that we have. So the following changes are being recommended. Increasing the number of board members from 7 to 8 to allow for a youth member and providing a term length for that youth member. Updating quorum, resignation, and membership, such as living within Brooks requirements to align with other city bylaws. Updating the number of meetings held per year from at least quarterly to not less than 10. Adding how to address procedural requirements, special meeting requirements, and virtual meetings to align with other city bylaws. Adding a duty to review grant applications and award funding from time to time as directed by council, as recent funding was provided to the Arts, Culture, and Heritage Board in the 2022 budget. Removal of the requirement for board members to follow the city's code of conduct policy. Changes to the MGA now require a municipality to enact a bylaw that provides for a code of conduct and not a policy. And clarifying that the city is the signing and administrative authority over all checks, vouchers, and monies received and spent, and that the board or board members do not have the authority to commit funding. Again, administration is recommending that this is forwarded to council, but I can answer any questions.
Any questions? Go ahead, Councilor Idris.
So the move from at least 4 meetings to at least 10 meetings, was necessary for work that the committee does? How did that come up?
Yeah, go ahead there, yeah.
Through the chair to Councilor Idris, this, the bylaw that we are replacing or will be replacing was created when the board was first created. So I don't think at that time they wanted to set too many meetings for that board. But now after talking with the staff person that sits on that board, they do have at least the 10 meetings per year. They sometimes may not meet in the summer.
Yeah, I've been on that board for a while there, and I think from most years there's 10 meetings. A lot of times we're even meeting in July and August, then we'll take another one off there too, yeah. So just, and a clarification too, it was kind of interesting, is that the members have to be from Brooks, if you want to just sort of clarify that too, Amy. And the reason I ask that is because I've been on that board, and there's been people from out in the county that have been on the board, which is great there too, but go ahead there, Amy.
Yes, through the chair to Mayor Petrie, all of our other bylaws, with the exception of, I believe, Safe Communities and Rec and Parks Board, you have to be living within Brooks to be a member. Those other 2 boards that I just mentioned receive funding from the county, so they also allow county council members and county members at large. So this is just to align with our other bylaws now.
Okay, the recommendation is to take it to councilor. All those in favor? Okay. I don't know if Sandra's on today or not. I don't see her around. Sandra, are you around? Okay, she's not around there. I need a motion to go into closed session. Councilor Jessica, okay, we'll go into closed session.